Hello everyone, Crash here, this is RTA Motorsports. Today we're going to be removing my old Prosimu T1000 3 degrees of freedom motion rig in way for the new rig. The big pallet downstairs is going to be moved upstairs soon. I cannot wait. All right, here we go. All right, everyone, just to get one thing out of the way, you're going to notice I'm no longer in a sling. This shoulder still has some tendon damage. I had an MRI, and the orthopedics determined that it would be best for me to be out of the sling, start gaining some mobility. Can't do too much with the arm, but we're out of the sling, and I'm starting to feel a little bit normal now, so that's awesome news there. Also, if you have any questions or comments at all regarding sim racing, one-wheeling, anything like that, definitely leave them in the comment box below. I'll definitely do my best to answer all your questions as much as possible. But also, don't forget to please hit that like button, that subscribe button. It helps the channel out big time, and it's going to help us grow so I can bring more content out to you all. This is going to be the teardown video. It's going to break my heart a little bit. I absolutely love this rig. Had this rig for a while, and it's been very good to me. But without further ado, here we go. So you can see we got a little bit of a mess going on. That's the monitor stand, but you can see the rig is pulled apart. I have the pedals there. Those are the Husenfeld Sprints. I'm gonna service them and clean them up. There's a lot of shoe shavings stuck on the base of the pedals, so I'm gonna get those serviced while I have them disconnected. But you can see this is mainly the two main parts of the rig that make the T1000 3 degrees of freedom. Just wanted to go over this while I have it apart. I know I went over this before when I did the original rig build and when I first bought the T1000. But the T1000, as you see it here with the two actuators, this would be the 2 degrees of freedom motion rig. Of course, a seat would mount here, but the two actuators left and right over there will handle both pitch and roll. And the back of the rig here is where we have the angled piece of metal here that would handle basically assisting you in rolling the rig from the left to the right. And then you can kind of see how I had my shifters and my handbrake all mounted to one another. They're all mounted to the Fanatec H-pattern shifter there. So everything kind of mounted to that shifter plate. It felt pretty natural for me. I know some people like putting their handbrakes on the side of the seat mount, but this is mainly the Prosimu 2 degrees of freedom motion rig. If you were to buy that base unit, you could actually buy the Prosimu T1000 without any motion. It would just be this center part here, just this main platform here, which is super sturdy, a lot of steel. But the 2 degrees of freedom, this is what you would get. You would get this crossbar here, and you would get the actuators themselves that would handle the roll. This is basically what we bought initially. And then I upgraded to the 3 degrees of freedom motion rig. And this is what you get on top. You get this bottom part here, kind of looks like an eye. The front two actuators will go into those cups that are at the front two corners, and then the rig sits on top of here. That back part right back there and handles the roll will then sit on top of here. You have these two stoppers that will prevent the rig from like sliding off. And then these two back cups are for if you go to the 5 degrees of freedom. So that way you have actuators in the back. So the whole back of the rig will kick from side to side if you're losing traction in the rear. It's two main parts. I love the size of the rig and how compact it is. I'm not gonna break it down any further than this. Pretty much I'm gonna carry it downstairs. This unit here, the traction loss unit, and the base rig itself, so that way it would be pretty easy for my bud that's buying this rig to just put one half on top of the other, get the electronics plugged in, and then he's good to go after he mounts the seat. So yeah, let's clean this up a little bit further, get everything out of here, get this all vacuumed up, get the office somewhat put back together before we bring up the new rig. All right, in normal circumstances, I would always recommend, especially when you're dealing with a rig like this, if you're building it or if you're moving it, definitely at least have two people, two capable bodies. This is heavy. And when I know I like to say that this is steel and it's heavy gauge steel and everything like that, but you gotta listen to me here. It is heavy steel. It doesn't look that big, but it's heavy and it's kind of awkward to move and everything like that. If you're not a capable body person, which technically I'm not right now, this shoulder is hurt, but I'm gonna do my best to safely move it out of this room. I'm not bringing it downstairs by myself. I'm gonna wait till I have help to do so. All right, everyone, we're inside the movie room right now, and you can see my mug on the screen there, actually down there, and now lives here in my movie room, the old Prosimu T1000 rig. This is the 3 degrees of freedom motion rig, just to go over it one more time. Now that we don't have the clutter, I think it would be easier to kind of go over this real quick. This is the base platform, or if you get the two actuators, this would be the 2 degrees of freedom motion rig. This is what I started off with. There's a lot of videos on the channel of me building it, first impressions. Definitely take a look at that if you're interested in this rig. The 3rd degree of freedom, or the traction loss, would be when you would get this base here, and you would just put that rig on top of this base. Now you have traction loss. And you can see in the corner, that's the chair and some electronics there from it. It's super compact. I have not had any issues with it. It's a little bit sad to kind of let this rig go, because really I've not had any problems with it at all. Prosimu has been an amazing company to deal with, and I had zero problems with their rigs, the actuators being used, or anything like that. So it's a little odd to let something go that has zero complaints from the user, but I am super excited to try their new rig. Now, again, I didn't get any of these rigs for free. I paid for this rig, the T1000 that you see here broken down, and I paid for the new rig downstairs. I absolutely love the company. I have never had problems dealing with them. If you guys have any questions or comments, definitely let me know in the comment box below. This is the first part. This is the teardown and the cleanup following removing the rig. Stay tuned for the next one, where we're gonna unbox and hopefully start building this new rig. I am super excited to really see what this rig is all about. My first aluminum profile rig. Everyone, I'm Crash, this is RTA Motorsports. Again, I just want to say thank you for all your support. Definitely subscribe if you have not yet. And everyone, stay safe, stay happy, and I'll catch you all next time.